Hi, this is Pam Batchelor for Johnston County Public Schools. Today I'm going to talk to you about a playlist that is an example playlist that is put on Google Classroom. So a playlist is an order of activities that has a different entry point for your students based on a formative assessment. So all students will complete the same tasks, they will just enter them at different points based on the formative assessment results. So this example playlist is based for Google Classroom. It follows kind of a HyperDoc format. So it starts off with an essential question: how does humans learn to fly? It has I can statements, which are the essential standards identified as the priority standards for language arts and social studies, rewritten in kid-friendly language so they understand and make that connection to what they are supposed to be able to do by the end of this playlist. It starts off with a first step one, what do I know, which is the formative assessment. Both of these are quiz-is game codes. So there's two formative assessments, one to see how their knowledge is on the language arts standards, and one to see how their knowledge base is for the social studies standards. Based on their assessment results, they would have they would type in their results after they take the quizzes for each one, and then they would conference with the teacher to identify which parts of step 2 they need to complete. So if they show mastery of the social studies standards, then they would only need to do the tasks for the ELA. If they show mastery in the ELA standards but not the social studies, then they would do the social studies work and not the ELA task. All right? And if they show mastery in both, then they would skip step 2 and go to step 3. All right, so step 2, they are working on some tasks for ELA, reviewing timelines, understanding what timelines are. And then for social studies, they're learning about the Wright brothers and the history of flight. They're going to be completing some research all along. Everything on this document that's blue is a hyperlink. So that means it's going to either video content, it's going to a research template to help them. And then it builds in our level of blooms as you can progress down through the playlist. So in step 3, they are showing what they know. So even if in step 1, with the knowledge check, that they understand mastery, a lot of times with the formative assessment, it's a quick check. It's not going to be perfect. So if they skip the step 2 and then they go on to step 3 where they're starting to actually apply that knowledge and they go, oh, wow, whoopsie, I don't really have the knowledge here, then they can always go back to step 2 to have that foundational knowledge that they need in the skill. All right, so we're teaching our students and modeling for them in a playlist how to be resourceful learners, how to go back and understand, oh, I don't have the information I need for this step, let me go back to the prior step. All right, so in step 3, they are using their Google Slides to make a presentation. There's also, in step 4, there's a challenge for our students that finish earlier that want to just go on and beyond. There's a challenge, and then there's also reflection. All right, so part of the ELA standards talk about having students craft critiques to each other's work in a respectful manner. So they are actually going to be sharing their Google Slides presentations to a Padlet, and then they're going to be commenting on each other's. And I've put screenshots in here to help them understand how to get that shareable link and to post it on a Padlet. And then also I included a norm for commenting on others' posts. So this is a walkthrough of an example playlist in Google Classroom.